Coming up, what could a COVID enjoy it while you can, why a family Christmas could mean tougher COVID rules.
The Lunchtime News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good afternoon. One of the government's top scientific advisors raised hopes today that families and friends could be able to see each other over Christmas, but it will be up to the government to decide how we celebrate on December the 25th. There was a warning too. Any relaxation of the rules may mean tougher restrictions to allow that to happen. Our political correspondent Daniel Hewitt reports. Joining more to talk more about this is Professor Roland Cowell, who is an epidemiologist at the University of Edinburgh. Professor Cowell, thank you so much for joining us this lunchtime. So no decision yet as to what will happen over Christmas, but there is some suggestion, hope, if you like, that the restrictions will be lifted and they will involve some household mixing. That could include, of course, vulnerable members of the family. How wise is this and how realistic is it, do you think?
Well,
You say all of that international travel, mixing of household, vulnerable members of the household as well. There was a caveat there, wasn't there, from the scientists today that, you know, if there was any lift in restrictions, that it we could see much tougher measures imposed either in the run-up to Christmas or in January. There's a few days when we can spend time together, but we could all feasibly be back to square one, couldn't we, as well? I just want to get you on this reaction now to Pfizer. Now, they've developed a vaccine there, and they say now that their vaccine is 95% effective success rate there. It's passed the safety checks, could be rolled out within 6 weeks. That's very good news, isn't it? Now, the former Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, won't yet be allowed back into the parliamentary party and will have to sit as an independent MP. The current leader, Sir Keir Starmer, says it is because Mr Corbyn undermined the party's ability to tackle anti-Semitism. As COVID-19 began to take a grip earlier this year, the government was left scrambling to secure enough supplies and services to cope with the unfolding crisis. Today, in a damning report by the public spending watchdog, has concluded that the government was not open enough about the billions of pounds of contracts that were handed out. Well, our correspondent Neil Connery is here. Neil, this is a pretty damning account that's emerging here, isn't it?
Absolutely. But the fallout from this report is going to carry on.
A man has been arrested in connection with the murders of 21 people in the 1974 Birmingham bombing. Sales of new petrol and diesel cars will be phased out by 2030, the Prime Minister confirmed as he announced his plan for a green industrial revolution to tackle climate change. The move has been accelerated by a decade and, as it had initially been planned to take place by 2040, where Erin Baker from the head of the NHS Test and Trace programme is self-isolating after being alerted by the system she runs. England World Cup hero Sir Geoff Hurst has said he will donate his brain for dementia research after his death. The 78-year-old is best known for leading England to victory in 1966 with a hat-trick, including this spectacular header.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. There has been a lot of research into this, and I know it's something that you feel incredibly passionately about. But just first of all, explain what recommendations you would like to see be implemented in the professional game, first of all. What about grassroots level, and what about, kids just playing at school, girls and boys? Should there be no heading of the ball at all?
I think
game changed over the years, because we think of the balls, don't we? Back in 1966, they were those big, heavy leather balls, weren't they? They're much lighter now. Does that make a difference?
I think it does.
We had a little look at, back then, 1966. We probably got a little bit more footage just to remind our viewers, as if they needed reminding. But is it hard to see that footage and look back on that time and see so many of your teammates going through what they went through? And I think a lot of our viewers at home will have loved ones with dementia as well and be feeling this.
Yes, I missed you a bit then at the first part of it. But of course, this affects everybody, not just professional players. And although there's no one in mind...
But you say now you're willing to donate your brain to medical research.
Yes, that's come out the last...
Finally, she's known for her big songs, big hair, and now her big heart. Dolly Parton has become a somewhat unlikely COVID hero. She's donated $1 million to help bring about a vaccine. Here's Faye Barker. And that's it. Bye-bye for now. Hello again. Now the main stories in London. For decades, black cabs have been one of the symbols of the capital, but it is an industry at risk of collapse because of the pandemic. A new helpline and website has been launched for people worried about family members or friends becoming radicalised. And a restaurant in Hackney is giving away free school meals to children during the pandemic. Now, we've all been trying to keep busy during lockdown, but for some Londoners, that's meant doing something a little different, like breaking a world record. And finally, how would you feel if you came across a bouquet of flowers on a bench with an uplifting note, all aimed at making your day? Well, that's exactly... Lots of sunshine around earlier today, but will it last? Let's take a look at the weather. Here's Philippa. And that is all from us for now. Ronke will be back here at 6. Until then, enjoy your afternoon. Bye-bye.